Namaskar and a warm welcome to all of y'all on my talk show, Dr. Suhani ke Sang Arts or Culture ka Sangam, which is a part of my Tete at Suvees series in collaboration with Yellow Spider Events. How are you people doing? Tonight is Saturday night, and what is the plan? Well, for me, I'm totally elated and excited because I have a wonderful guest with me. A guest who we have really respected, and he in turn has played such a major role in our children's lives because he happens to be their teacher. Yes, uh, they say those who can't do teach. It's a quaint saying associated with most teachers until you meet this one. Almost a decade in the once upon a time famous infrared band, and also while simultaneously being a tremendously popular biology teacher at Campion School, Mumbai, and whose name has been synonymous with always accolade worthy work, from winning intercollegiate and interschool fashion shows to rocking bands that leave audiences with lasting impressions, and melodious acapellas to choreographing interschool dances to directing plays at various stages, especially the NCPA, and the list can go on and on and on. But most of all, building and developing talent from the delicate years and taking it to a whole new level on both school and college front. I present to you the one and only. Oh, yes, the one and only Savio Alphonso. Big round of applause. Kindly continue wherever you are. I know we are in the virtual world, but we can clap from our homes. Welcome,
Again.
Savio Alfonso.
Thank you, Suhani. Thank you so much.
So we have a whole lot of people who've joined us already, and if you have joined us, please do comment and type "Hello, Alfu," because that's what he's called very fondly by all his students and to all his friends. And that's Vivan Roshan saying, "Yeah, let's go, sir." Absolutely. So first of all, gratitude and thank you that you came on my talk show, Alfu. It's really been great. um, we've been associated, rather, we've known each other for over uh, a decade and a half. It's thanks to you that both my children, got somebody like you in their lives who they really look up to, and they really respect you. So, without much ado, I really would like to start our conversation. So, tell us, you were a part of the most happening band in those days, that's Infrared. And at the same time, you were a teacher. So, how could you give up Infrared? I mean, that's something, which is buzzing. It gives you a different kind of a high. And please share with us.
Uh, True. I loved my time on stage, but
Yeah,
in life, I guess you have to make a choice, especially when you come from a middle class family, whether you want to continue with that type of a life, because
right,
that has a shelf life, correct? I mean,
right,
you're singing on stage, unless you enter the movie industry and you become a playback singer, etc.
right.
Singing on stage has a shelf life to some extent, and you also have to look at the earning for the family. And a 9 to 5 job was not my cup of tea. I was a teacher, and I loved that as passionately as I loved singing. And who
Right.
says I'm not performing? I perform every day in front of my kids. The minute I get into class, I'm performing. I'm teaching biology and I'm performing. So, like, your people look at me, man. I am here. I still perform. I'm 51 and I'm still relevant.
Oh, I love that. That's great. So, tell me, being a teacher, I mean, and being such I mean, a well-known teacher, and you are son, not were, I would say you are yet still today. I mean, everyone knows Savio Alphonso, the bio teacher, absolutely
No, they
extremely
don't.
popular.
No, they don't. No, I have to correct you there. Everywhere I go, I'm known as Alfu, the music teacher, for some odd reason. No one associates me with good biology. I am a good biology teacher. Seriously, only the ninth standard parents know that I'm a bio teacher. Everyone has a Alfu. He has a ponytail.
Yeah.
Music teacher. No, I'm not.
Oh, this is too much fun. This is too much fun. Yeah. So, I have to ask you that how do you manage it? At one time you're a teacher at school. It's there's lots of pressure. It's not that there's no pressure. On top of that, you're choreographing fashion shows, you're choreographing dances, even, I mean, directing plays, and then, of course, your acapella, the famous UV light shows that, we've all been a part of. How do you manage it? Don't you go crazy, like, teaching and then running and then doing this and then running and then doing that? How does it all work for you?
I absolutely believe in living life to the fullest, because I've had experiences in my life, very personal ones, which have told me that life is too short. And if you don't live it, and if you don't live it to the fullest, you're going to lose out on a lot. So I've just learned to compartmentalize my entire day. And
Right.
yeah, I mean, it's, when I'm doing my UV, I am absolutely not thinking about the biology paper that I have to set, which I have not set. And yeah, and when I'm setting my biology paper, it's only pure biology. And
Yeah.
then when I jump into acapella, I've forgotten
Right.
UV, I've forgotten bio, and I've gone into UV. And it is possible, it is absolutely possible to live like the fullest, because I've lived it, I've been there, done that. So that's the way I do it. I
That's
compartmentalize and I make a maximum use of all my time.
That's absolutely fantastic. And yes, Zenobia Modi has joined us and she says,
Hi
you most
Zenobia,
certainly.
where are you, yaar?
you,
Long time. Call me
yeah.
for Dansta.
And she says, you most certainly are an excellent bio teacher. I absolutely agree with you in toto about that, Zenobia. Totally. Thanks so much for joining. And well, this brings me to ask you, today I'm going to really talk about the kind of teachers that, we are getting today. Sometimes you really feel that, is it that these people did not have any other option? Hence, they took up the profession of teaching, or what is it that is it's lacking? But the quality, I really feel, has really gone down from what we used to have. Uh, what is your viewpoint, Savio? Or you know,
My take on that is the modern generation is a very fast generation. Correct?
yeah,
They want and they need to make fast money. So the good ones, okay, are
right,
opting for professions that give them that type of money. And for some odd reason in our country, it is deemed that a teacher should be poor. The teacher
right,
should just live a hand to mouth life. And that's the reason as to why the ones who could possibly teach, I mean, pay people more, pay people like how the other professions are getting their salaries. And look and see, you will get your good teachers. It's just that you get the cream going off somewhere else, and all the
right.
leftovers then therefore come into teaching. They don't, I mean, we
Yes,
don't
yes.
have a choice. So that's the reason as to why we are churning out teachers who are taking the profession, because they don't have anything better to do. And yeah, the type of money that a teaching profession pays is good enough for the ones who are coming in. So
But
that's the reason.
y- I mean, in a way, you are absolutely right, Alfo. Absolutely correct. But things did change once the IB schools came in. Uh, don't you think so?
But once again, no, the cream is going to the IB schools.
That's
All the cream is going to the IB schools. Now, if you have a cross section of IB schools, like once upon a time, there was an entire exodus of students from the SSC into the ICSE, correct?
ICSE.
At
Yeah.
that given point of time, the ICSE schools had started paying their teachers decently well, but then they
Mm,
stopped, as in like they've sort of stagnated with the pay raise and the pay scales and all of that. Now, an
right.
IB school is offering me almost
Mm,
1.5 times the salary that I make. I mean,
mm,
I'm an old, I'm of the old school. So I
mm,
have been loyal to my school and all that jazz. And, we've remained. There are a few handful of us who've remained. Why would the younger lot stay in the teaching profession in an ICSE when they're getting a salary of 1.5 times more and so many more perks?
right.
So once
Right.
the IB becomes an entire, once it takes hold of the entire the education system in India, I
Mm,
guess the cream will go out there.
yes, that's that true. Alfu, the pandemic has hit us, the entire world, and with that, so many things have come to a standstill. And I think children have got most affected by it because they can just not go out. They are not going to a proper school where they're going to meet other students. They are going to meet their teachers. It's just being in amongst four walls and just being in front of a screen. So I think life has really taken a hard stand on children. What is your view on that?
It has. I totally agree because
Yeah.
one of the things of school, whether it's a boys' school, girls' school, co-ed, college, one of the things of that was the interaction, the physical.
Yes.
I would be very specific, the physical interaction of the kids with each other,
Right.
which has now, I mean, not been there for what, one and a half, more than 1.5 year,
A half year.
almost 2 years. uh, it's sad, but it's something we'd rather keep our children safe than be
Hmm.
sorry and push them into a situation where we want them to come to school and we want them to interact and whatever. uh,
True.
there are some of them who have, like, the last year's batch totally missed, my 10th standard batch totally missed everything. We are hoping that doesn't happen with this year's batch, and we open somewhere in the latter half of the year so that they at least get 2 months of some sort of interaction with each other, with the teachers, etc. uh, but that is life, and this is not life only in Mumbai, or it is not life only in Maharashtra or only in India. It's all around.
It's world over. Yeah.
I have nephews in London. I have a nephew studying in Singapore. There is another nephew in Dubai, and all of them are of the same opinion. It's just
Yeah.
that life has started out there, but
Right.
we are India, so I mean, we do foolish things and we make life, life more difficult for us. If
Right.
the community had just listened, and all the communities, I would say, just listened and been a little sensible, I'm quite sure we would have been on our feet by now. But because of our stupidities, we still
Mm.
have to remain indoors. uh,
Uh,
the only
yeah.
advice that at this point of time I would turn around to my kids and say is, like, interact as much as you can. Yes, it is a virtual interaction, but interact as much as you
Yeah.
can with your friends.
True.
Otherwise, it is. I mean, mental health is going to be affected.
Yeah.
It is going to be
Absolutely.
affected.
Absolutely. I think this is the time where everyone has to take care of their mental health too. It's the
Absolutely,
need of the
absolutely
hour.
correct.
So, with this also, all our intercollegiate uh, and inter-school events, everything has come to
Hey,
a
don't remind me.
standstill.
It makes me feel so sad. Yeah. I'm a busybody at this point of time.
Totally, totally. That's why
And I'm sitting down looking at a computer screen and
yeah.
listening to music and listening to strains of music, and I don't know what. I'm missing my kids, seriously.
But there is a lot where, you have played an important role in so many students' life, Alfu. You've nurtured and honed their talents, and today some of them have become professionals. And salute you and kudos to you, Alfu. So please do share with us about those experiences. I think that's something which is very close to your heart.
It is genuinely. I mean, I still remember my first fashion show. It was a fluke,
Yeah.
absolute fluke. Uh, Carl, I remember the boy's name. Carl was a student in school. He had played a lead role, and that time I wasn't like in the. It was more Miss Marianne and all those stalwarts were there. I was just a background person, and when he went into college, he went into HR college, and they had to put up a fashion show for which is the college that you come from, yeah, your college, uh,
Sydenham.
Sydenham, yes, Sydenham.
Okay.
Okay, and he came to me and he's like, "Can you please help?" And I knew a lot of a lot of the students who were in college at that time, and I also knew their parents. So
Yeah.
they called the parents called up and said, "Can you please help?" And I said, "Fashion show? Are you mad? I mean, I don't know anything about fashion. I mean, you ask me to teach your child to sing or something like that makes sense. I'm a singer in a band also." No,
Yeah.
no, no, sir. Please, just help. We just need to put it up for for the fun of it, and like if they even if they participate in this stupid fashion show, we will win the entire competition, and they gave me all that jazz. So we went in there and we did some nonsense. We put up something. The parents came in and helped, just like as they would in school,
Cool.
and
Yeah.
we had fun. We had fun, and yeah, shockingly, these guys went. They performed. Everyone screaming, adrenaline high, and we were awaiting the results. So I'm like, rubbish, yeah. I'm not going to. I mean, we are not going to win. I mean, but we did a good show. We had fun. So I was on my way out. I was on my way out from Sydney, and this entire horde came running towards me, and they were like, they just picked me up and they took me back again into the auditorium. Literally, like physically picked me up and took me back again into the auditorium. Like, क्या हुआ यार? अभी तो कुछ तो बताओ. Like, wait, and watch and go to see me won the fashion show. We won the first place in the fashion show, and we also won the festival. It was mad. So then, yay! I became a fashion choreographer
And
with
after
zero
that, there is,
sense, with
and
zero
post that,
sense of
there's
fashion.
been no looking back. You have done n number of fashion shows,
Oh
Alfu.
yes, my God, I
And
was tired.
the themes that you have worked on,
Oh no. These themes, I blame the colleges because these crackpot children, I don't know, they have 3 4 drinks, I guess, and then they make up these themes and throw it on our head, and then we have to, break our heads and think about all of that, and yeah, we come out with madness after that. But it's good fun, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
absolutely good fun.
It's a lot of fun and it's a lot of work also. But it's amazing to see that how you cope up with these kids and how you just go on and on and on and
Y'all
on.
are
It's
there to do
brilliant.
the work. That's the reason as That's the reason as to why I take it on. If y'all were not, you remember me screaming and shouting at all of y'all
Of
more
course,
than the kids.
I have to mention this. I will never forget the first time, my first official meeting with the Savio Alphonso. I yet remember that was my first year in Campion as a parent, where both my children had gotten to school admission, and it was we were doing the play. Circle of Life, Lion King, right? And I was supposed to do all the costumes. And it's very hard. When I say it, I'm saying it out of experience. It's very hard and very difficult to please
Any
this man.
nonsense, huh? Zenobia, is it very hard to please me? I'm such a nice
Well, of
person, huh?
course,
Zenobia, maybe.
I will never forget. 2 days before the show, we took the costumes, we gave it to you, and you just held it up and you said, "This is what you're going to give me." And you just, like just chucked it and said, "No, no, this is not going to work," you know. And then we had to get the tailor, we had to sit there in front of you, and we had to redo the whole thing. I'll never
But
forget.
Suhani,
But
I gave you an experience of a
yes,
lifetime. Come on, admit it.
totally, because of you, the entire thing, the way it changed, the entire look of the costume, and the way it looked on stage, your visualization is absolutely par excellence, sir. Must say that. That's when I always say, even though we call you Alfu, but when you're working, it's just sheerly out of respect that we call you sir, because you are absolutely brilliant at what you do, and it's absolutely a lot of fun. So it's wonderful. So that brings me to ask you, Savio, what is it that Alfonso likes the best? I know you're a great singer. I know you're a great dancer. I know you're an amazing teacher. Okay, you have touched so many lives. I have seen that myself personally. Uh, you, I mean, you've done it all. There's so, and you keep on doing it all. There's nothing that. But what is it that keeps Alfu going on? What is it?
It's work. I would say that it's work. I wouldn't choose between any of my professions because each of them give me as much as satisfaction as the other.
Right.
I need to work. It's like the pandemic has really taken quite a toll on me, but I've managed, thank God. I've managed getting into the virtual world. Even it sometimes it's very scary for us. I mean, me as an older person to suddenly jump into the virtual world and match up with the talents and the this of the others. But I mean, one child I would want to thank is your son because he's a technical genius. Okay, he's been there. Whenever we did the fashion show, the online fashion show that was there. Uh, you know, so he's been a very 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 big influence. Uh, Vivan Roshan is another very very large influence on my life. Okay, I mean, I've gotten back again into my music and stuff like that thanks to that kid. And yeah, he keeps me on my toes, learning new things, screaming, shouting, fighting, and yet putting out brilliant work out there.
Right.
And yeah, I've been told to say this. I mean, and I believe in it. I do have the hand of God on my head. So as long as it's there, and as long as the blessings of the Almighty are there, I would love to work with kids. And yeah, I don't feel my age. I don't behave. Anyone who knows me knows that I don't behave my age. Yeah, I have to learn how to sit down and take one bead thing and start saying prayers or something like that. But working with these kids keeps you young. Even if I don't have hair on my head, big deal. It still keeps you young.
Please, Alfu, don't tell us that you're going to do that. Like sit
Just
down and say
imagine me,
prayers and
with
all.
some beads and all of that. Oh my God,
That's just
that
not
will be the
you.
day.
That's
I may
not
I may
you.
find some innovative way of doing that also, no, and UV and all of that. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely. I can totally, totally agree with you on that, because whatever you do it so creatively. And what wonderful comments that we have been getting from
Arey,
Zenobia
where are
and
you looking at all these comments? I can't see
from
anything.
Vivan Roshan, and of course from Krish Mendonça. And then I had a friend of mine, Abraham Vatican Cherry, who had joined, and then uh, a whole lot of people have joined. Thank you so much. Very kind of you for these wonderful comments. And yes, we do love
Guys, seriously, on a
Alfu,
Saturday
the
night, you're
tea.
joining and you're listening to the two of us go party, yaar.
uh, we are waiting. We are really, really waiting for everything to open up and for little kind of normalcy. I think each of us are waiting. But as they say, this too shall pass. So I'm sure it will pass.
Absolutely.
Alfu, quickly tell us what is it? What is uh, the topmost if I say that this is your it comes to your mind, who's your topmost and absolutely best singer?
I adored uh, what's his name? Ah, shucks, I sing his song and I don't. Greatest, the Whitney. I adored Whitney Houston.
Whitney
Greatest
Houston.
love.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
really thought that she was one true diva in my day and age. Okay, I mean you had the divas, you had Ella Fitzgerald and all who,
Yes, of
uh,
course.
but they for me Ella and all were like, oh my god, they were untouchable. I used to get scared to actually perform their songs because they were so good.
Yeah.
But in my day and age, yeah, Whitney was one true diva who came in and sadly messed her life up.
Yeah.
Very very sadly messed her life up. But the stage that she lived for and what she did on stage at that given point of time was truly truly remarkable. Truly
and
remarkable.
and Bollywood singer or
बॉलीवुड
music
सिंगर
director?
नहीं नहीं एक ही है बाबा मेरा किशोर कुमार है. It's like I mean, yes, there is R.D. Burman ji, but like our time, Kishore Kumar, and
Yeah.
I remember Dad getting us a small transistor. It was called that
Right.
mono thing, and we would sit down and listen to that, every evening. That is the reason as to why my old. I am quite an old soul when it comes to all those songs. And on
Right.
Saturday night, we would sit down and listen to the Saturday night live that used to come in with Boney M and all of those. So
Yeah.
the entire family and our neighbors, because we were, we would have one transistor amongst like
Right.
three or four families, and everyone would come together and everyone would sit down and listen to that music.
Yeah.
And later on came in the black and white TV, and we would listen to Chaya Geet. I don't know if you remember
Yeah,
Chaya Geet.
me too.
Yeah,
Yes, I remember
yeah.
that very clearly.
And then the
And we used
Saturday
to watch.
night
And remember Sundays we used to watch the Sunday film. That was
Sunday film
the
and Phool
the
Kiye
highlight.
Gulshan Gulshan. Okay,
Yeah,
all of that. Yeah. Now you know how old I am.
yeah.
So
So
those were influences on my life, and I've
totally.
realized that those influences have actually helped me in my performances on stage. If you look at all of them, the way that they used to present themselves, their work ethic, all of them. Kishore Das work ethic was so brilliant. I've had the this of meeting his son. I've had the privilege of meeting his son, and talking to him for like 5 minutes when I was in infrared and when we were doing a show and stuff like that. I've had the
Yeah.
privilege of meeting Ashadi. I've had the privilege of meeting Lataji.
Oh my
I
God.
swear, yeah, seriously, it's like they are the queens out there.
Totally.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that was
So
that was the life once
yeah,
upon a time.
so अल्फो जाते जाते गाना हो जाए.
Hi Ram, मुझे लगा ही था. I should have brought my steps. Yeah, never mind. चलो देख लेंगे. Uh,
any song which
uh,
just two lines.
लग जा गले के फिर हंसी रात हो न हो शायद ये फिर इन लम्हे
Nanam be
मुलाकात हो न हो लग जा गले से
see.
से
क्या बात.
You should have told me now. I've got my lyrics and all and come, yeah.
But this is more fun. This is much more fun. Yes, absolutely right, Zenobia. As you said, Saturday date on air and Top of the Pops on Wednesday. All those days were such fun. Totally enjoyed them, thoroughly enjoyed them. Alfu, I can't believe it. Our time has just flown. There is so much more to talk to you about because each of us are completely indebted to you as parents, what you have done and the role you have played in our children's life. By saying thank you is a very small word, but this is something which each and every parent of Campion School will resonate with me. And yes, Alfu, you are the best, and we truly love you for what you are and what our children become when they are with you. Thank you. Thank you.
To all the parents who are watching out there, heartfelt thanks from me, from school. I wouldn't only say from me, but from Campion for being such lovely parents. You know, I've worked with other schools and stuff like that, but I've never seen a set of parents like our Campion parents. So, thank you for entrusting your kids in our care. And yeah, we've done what we could, and we leave the rest to God. And we know that the Jesuit values have always been there, and we send out men of honor into the world. So, thank you guys. Thank you for being such lovely people in my life. Thank you for all the experiences that you all have afforded me and school. And yeah, don't forget us. Keep us in your prayers.
Always, always, always. And as I always say on each and every of my episode, all you people, stay safe. Get yourselves vaccinated if you've not got, because together we can win it and we can win anything if we are together in it. And the next thing that I always say on my every episode is that if there is anything that's troubling you, worrying you, please communicate to a friend who you trust, to a family member who you trust, because by keeping it within you, bottled up within you, it's only going to harm your health. If you communicate, you'll find a solution, and you never know, somebody else may be going through the same problem, you can help them too, right? And yes, most importantly, in these days, if you are healthy, you can look after your family's health too, right? So stay safe, everybody. Lots of love to each and every one of you all. God bless you. And this has been by far one of my most amazing episodes. Really, it's getting me emotional right now. I'm just controlling myself because I know the role that you have played in my children's lives. So, once again, thank you, Savio Alfonso. And before going, do follow Savio Alfonso on Instagram. There are a lot of interesting things that you will see. And do
Oh God,
follow me.
yeah.
Do follow me on my YouTube channel. That's Dr.Suhani Mendonça. Do share, like, subscribe, and yes, comment because it's really important for us to know your views. Good night, Shabba Khair.
Thanks
God
for having
bless.
me, Suhani. Thank you. Good
Anytime,
night. God
anytime.
bless.
Lots of love to all of you all.
Lots of
Bye
love.
bye.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
to all our viewers who joined. Bye bye.